Come on, give it to me, John Abraham. Give it to me. Azareye'h Thomas, DB
Wow.
from Florida State, the pick by the New York Jets. Now,
Hell yeah.
is he a traditional corner, Dylan, or is he a hybrid, a safety? What are we getting here in this player, Thomas from Florida State? Initial reaction.
I would say more of a boundary guy. Like, this now makes me question what the hell are they going to do with their $12 million Brandon Stevens?
Yep.
Like, that actually makes me think that Brandon Stevens might be going back to free safety, which I love. I'm a fan of it. I know the pay, $12 million for your safety, but if you get a rookie starter across from Sauce on a rookie contract, yeah, I'm totally down with this. Above average man coverage grade on PFF, above average zone coverage grade as well. Didn't have any like egregiously bad games analytically based on PFF. Length 6'2", 198. So now you have big, long corners who are going to flip their hips and run with guys on the boundary. This is actually a really good pick for the Jets. He was a Senior Bowl guy, so I did get eyes on him. I'm going to have to look through my notes while BJF goes, but I remember being impressed with him so much that I was starting to mock corner at 42 to the Jets before Brandon Stevens.
Wow. BJF, your initial reaction, you saw the pick before anybody. Thanks to Connor Hughes spoiling it for you on Twitter.
Yeah, held that in too, dude.
Yeah, great job. Give us your thoughts, man. You've had to hold this in for like 10 minutes.
I better say something good. Not have all this time to simmer with it, right? So yeah, man. I mean, before the Jets signed Stevens, we were doing those way too early mock drafts. Guys like Trey Thomas and Azareye'h Thomas on day 2 were popular picks. Now, in terms of what he played at in college, I got his snap count up here. It was 600. It was like 90% of his snaps were at boundary corner, a little bit on the slot, a little bit in the box. They call this defensive line, but that just means he blitzed a couple times. So this is a boundary corner. And I'm with Dylan. I do think that, look, you have 3 corners who are under contract for at least 2 more years. So if it was like the Jets had DJ Reed on 1 more year left on his deal, okay, you take AZ Thomas, you sit him behind DJ Reed for 1 year, and then he starts the next year, pick 73, fine. But Stevens, 2-year deal. Sauce probably going to get an extension. Michael Carter, 2 more years on his deal. I don't know if you draft a player top 75 and you're planning for him to be a backup for 2 seasons. So to me, they have a vision for Stevens, Carter, Sauce, Thomas, and Cisco to be on the field at the same time. And if I had to guess, the guy who's played safety before is Stevens. He was actually better at safety, honestly, than he was at corner. I know he's still listed at corner on the Jets depth chart, but to me, man, they have a plan for this kid to be a starting contributor in their secondary, I would imagine.
It makes sense. I'm looking at the scouting report here from Connor Rogers on the big board. Long outside man cover corner that has stacked 2 really solid years of tape, will be 20 years old on draft night. While Thomas hasn't had the takeaways you'd hope for, he disrupts routes, competes at the catch point consistently. 2nd-round graded player. So the Jets got good value here, at least based on Connor's assessment. And I think you guys are right. I think Stevens is one of our starting safeties now, and they'll play Thomas. And I'll say this, right? I think when it comes to cornerback, we got to give the head coach, Aaron Glenn, the benefit of the doubt that he knows how to evaluate that position, considering his background at that position, as we all know. So this is an interesting one. I did not think they'd go corner, but it makes a little sense if we're going to say, hey, our need at safety is not as much of a need as you think, because we're going to move Stevens to that spot. We think he's perfect to play that position.
Yep. 357 coverage snaps for Thomas, 17 receptions on 33 targets. So just over 50% completion percentage allowed. Only 141 yards allowed in the air against him. Low ball production with 1 interception, 2 career interceptions. But again, there's a reason Sauce doesn't have the ball production and the picks, because nobody throws his way. So if that's the case and that's what was happening at Florida State, I can't confirm, but I'll know more when I watch the cut-ups tonight. This is an intriguing prospect because now you have 2 guys that can play basically on an island, and now you can be free-ranging with your guys on the back end, like the safeties and your slot. So this just allows you to play a different brand of football that we're used to. No more butts to the sidelines, dropping back in cover 3, not turning your goddamn head around to locate the freaking pass. I want to say the F word so bad because it makes me mad. I understand you don't train the technique to turn your head but if you never turn your head, you're not going to pick the ball off. So let's hope that these press man corners are going to stay in the hip pocket of receivers and really come away with the football when given the opportunities.
Man,
And then real quick in my notes, sorry, the 2 notes I had from Azareye'h Thomas, and I think it's Azareye'h Thomas.
Thomas.
Azareye'h, yeah. I had a double plus for coverage reps on the first day of practice in one-on-ones with a good pass breakup. And then on the second day in 11-on-11s, the first team defense won the day, which he was a part of, and he had a really good deep ball contested rep. So definitely a guy that I think could, fit the mold of what they want as far as a man-to-man corner. I'm excited to dig deeper on the film. I was mocking corner to the Jets at 42 pre-Brennan Stevens, and it was more of like the Savone Revels, who is still available, by the way. He had the ACL. So it is an intriguing pick, and he is not 21 years old yet either. He turns 21 on June the 6th, so him and Mason Taylor can enjoy whatever cocktail.
Membu just turned 21. We're gonna have the youngest team in the NFL once we cut Greg Zuerlein's ass.
Oh my God! Whatever cocktail has peanut butter as an ingredient, this is what the rookies should enjoy together.
Wow. For some additional notes here, Dom C's scouting report: 3rd-rated corner, has a 1st or 2nd round grade on him. 4-star recruit from Niceville High School in Niceville, Florida. Has 5 siblings. Played wide receiver, running back, and defensive back in high school. Man, lot to like. I know Ricky NY, Mr. Florida State himself, is going to love this pick. So shout out to you, Ricky, for getting another Seminole in the draft here. Big fella, I see hit the super chat, play Ricky's music.
Drop tremendous. The theme song.
Drop it. Let me see where the Dom has him in his overall rankings here.
If I had to guess, Dom C would probably have him in the top
18th.
40.
18th overall player. Yeah. How about that? I mean,
I was gonna say top 40, top 30 to be a little, I felt like it was a Dom C type of guy coming out of the Senior Bowl, spending those couple days with him and Jeremy. We definitely came away impressed.
I want to know why he dropped. I guess if there's such glowing reports on him from a bunch of people I really respect, why this guy fell to pick 73 of the 3rd round.
It seems like all the corners are dropping. I mean, Jahdae Barron was rumored in the top 10. He doesn't go till 20. I think the only one that went where he was supposed to was Travis Hunter. Even Maxwell Hairston was being mocked to the Packers at 23. He goes 30 to the Bills. And then you have a very large void before Will Johnson goes at 47, which I know BJF, you probably would have ran the card up for Will Johnson if given the chance. So I think we're just seeing an overall slippage of corners. Benjamin Morrison, 53rd overall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that one went under the radar. We didn't talk about that one too much. And then Trey Amos to the Commanders at 61. So yeah, they're all just kind of falling. Those were all second, maybe even fringe 1st-round guys for a lot of people in the consensus with their mocks. So I think corner is just not being prioritized right now, which is strange because you would almost consider it, or you would consider it, a premium position based on the need to stop wide receivers.
I got to be honest. I think this guy's going to be pretty good. Just reading the background on him and like what Glenn wants. Like this guy is a physical press man corner. That tells me a couple things. One, we're blitzing a lot more this year, boys. And we're going to need our corners to be able to play press man and allow our rush to get home. And we're going to get sauce way more one-on-one on an island, especially if you're about to pay this guy. Like I think I think there's a chance for this guy to be an impact player right away. I still think they need receivers tomorrow, and there's some other needs for sure. And if they took a safety here, I'd understand. But the more I read about this pick, the more I'm encouraged by what they're doing. And I do think Stevens could be our safety. I do think that you guys are onto something with that theory.